So I watched the guy on YouTube put in some caribou seats. They were the Moab seats. And I really liked the seats. I mean, I thought they were pretty freaking cool. But the problem was, I didn't have the factory boxes in the back of my Humvee. Somebody had tore them out. So, you know, trying to find those boxes is like looking for a needle in a haystack, where you'll spend 180, 250 bucks. You know, guys want outrageous cost on them. So what I wound up doing was, I bought 3 1/2 air ride seats, which is kind of hard to see right there. There's the front seat, and the base was the only thing that was really left. I had to buy the box for the top of the battery, which was pretty simple to mount that seat in there. But as you can see, there's one of the air ride seats. And what I did was, I didn't want them bouncing up and down. They were kind of tall when they were all the way up. So I took and I ran my Humvee up on my lift, lowered it down, smashed them down, and I welded a plate right there. So they're at about 8.5 inches. Somewhere around there, 8.5, 9 inches. My local weld shop, I had them form up some aluminum trays. I used 3/16 because I didn't want them to flex. I had them bend those edges and leave the back open. What I'm going to do is, I took the bolts that were holding the sliders on, I stuck them back in there, and I put them at this elevation right here. And it also sits on this pipe back here. It's the same elevation because this is a 3/4 lip. When it sits on there, it's pretty stable. It's not too bad. Okay, and that's what's going to mount the seat to that. Then of course I'll put this on here. So in the front, there's a little bit more room up and down wise, and I'm not going to pinch that. I'm going to let this thing ride, because when you get in here, right now when nobody's sitting in it, it's at about off the floor 17.5 inches, which isn't bad. And then when I sit down in here, because I'm 200 fat pounds, it sinks about 2 inches. So I've got not bad room right here to be able to steer. Of course, it's that air ride seat, so it moves up and down. I loosened it all the way up so that it would smash all the way down, you know, of course, when you put your weight on it. And then I can move this over left to right, excuse me, to center it on the wheel. But as far as head goes, you can kind of see, you know, I'm looking straight out, looking up. There's no issues as far as being sunk down in the seat. So I kind of like that versus, you know, I think Eastern Equipment had these 1/2 boxes for $99. So it cost me 300 bucks for seat bases. And then I got I think they're caribou Moab seats is what they are. And I think Summit had them, or a couple places had them. They were around $1,000 with shipping, 1,100 bucks tops. So you're looking at like 1,500 bucks to put seats in. My local weld shop charged me 120 bucks for these 3 aluminum plates. I didn't have the battery box plates. Of course, I had to get that. You know, that's neither here nor there if you have that box up plate already. But I think it looks pretty good. Functionality in the back here. You get up kind of high in the back, and you can see in the back, you can recline the seat. You're not going to have any issues reclining. I know my video sucks, but bear with me. See that? You're up. You got total able to recline back. You know, put your new seat belts in, whatever. I'm probably going to move the seat over to the left just a little bit, kind of centered in there. I didn't have to cut the box out. Everybody's like, I'm cutting this box out in the back. And then I'll just bolt that thing down, right down. You know, 4 bolts on the front, maybe one on each side, maybe one in the front. To bolt that thing down, and you're good to go. You can see you've got quite a bit of room with it just sitting here to the steering wheel. I'd say there is somewhere around, you know, 6, 7 inches, 6 inches, 5.5 inches. But of course, when you sit down on the seat, it sinks down 2 inches, which is kind of nice. So, but there you have it. Didn't take very long. It took me about 45 minutes to mount the seat on top of the battery box. These back ones, I smashed them down. I cut a plate, stuck it in and welded it. I think it took me 30 minutes to do 2 of them, 45 minutes. more of the hard part's going to be getting them centered and where you want them, left to right wise. I think I'm going to go with 3-point harnesses. I'm going to use the existing holes that are right there to mount a 3-point harness, and of course come up in the back of the seat, and then remount the one back down here, right there, and then of course use the one on the other side over here, you know, to bring this seat belt up and around here like this, and then I'd have 3-point harnesses in there. I think it would look a little cooler, but that's up to you and what you want to do with that. But these deuce and a half boxes worked out really good, especially if you want to leave them as an air ride. You don't have to wear them. You don't have to sink them down 4 inches. I think total height is 12.5 inches or something. So I sunk them down 4 inches. I think it just gave a little bit more room for the head up above once you put these seats in there, because they're kind of thick as far as the thickness goes. You know, I think they measure somewhere around 6 inches. So, cool. Good luck with your project.